so we've been working on the splits, doing hamstring stretches, not the splits yet, but hamstring stretches. We've been working on a lot, quads over the last few weeks. And there's a pose called Hanumanasana, which is actually the splits, front to back splits, and that needs that flexibility in your hamstrings and your quads, also open hips. So we're going to work towards that. It's also called monkey pose. There's a half monkey pose, which some of you might favor, which is not as deep a stretch. Just be careful going into it. Don't, as I say, always listen to yourself. Don't push yourself too much. Have a block handy, because the block is very useful. If you can't get all the way down to the floor, we can just slide the block underneath, and so we're not going too deep. But we'll work towards that. But as I say, just take care of yourselves and don't push yourself too much. Bring the hands onto the knees. Sit tall. Feel that length in the body, in the back. Tuck the chin. Close the eyes. Bring attention, focus to the breath. Starting to take longer, deeper breaths. Each inhale, starting to pull in a little bit more air, a little bit more oxygen. Each exhale, just as long as the inhale. So we're going to work on the neck to begin with, and we're just going to start taking the head from side to side. We do this from time to time, and we want to move with the breath. So we inhale as we bring the head up, and exhale as we take it over to the side. Just going a little deeper into that stretch each time. And then we're going to hold the head over to one side. And we start bringing the head a little bit more forward. So you've got the side stretch, but you're bringing the head forward. And then we take it backward. And we bring the head back up and then over to the other side. We hold it here. And then we're bringing the head more forward. And then back, up to center, and now we turn the head from side to side, looking over each shoulder in turn. Take your time, again trying to move with the breath, and I always go deeper into the stretch on the exhale, which is why I inhale to center, exhale as I'm turning the head, looking behind me. And then we hold, turning the head in one direction. Inhale to center, and we turn the head in the other direction. Back to center, chin to the chest. Now this time we're going to take the hands behind the head, just to encourage the chin in a little closer. Head up. Work on the shoulders, a little bit of movement here. And then extend the right arm forward, parallel to the ground, shoulder back. And we're going to start pulling that arm in. You're going to pull above the elbow. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, pulling a little closer. Trying to relieve that tension. Working with the body, not fighting it. Remember, just work with the body, don't do anything that hurts. If you know of any injuries, just be careful in that area. In Hanumanasana, as we work to that pose, if you have any issues with your hamstrings, it's not going to be the pose for you, so just avoid it. You can just do like a lunge or just a very gentle hamstring stretch. Release, extend the arms to the side, shoulders relaxed, energy through the arms. We bring the right arm under the left arm, eagle arms. Some of you might be like this if you have tight shoulders. Some of you might have the back of the hands closer. Some can get fingers of one hand into the palm of the other hand. We sit tall again and we start bringing those arms up, getting a nice stretch across the upper back. Breathe. We release, we extend the arms to the side, we bring the left arm under the right arm, and we start bringing the arms up, trying to keep those arms centered. Take a few breaths here. And release. Come onto your hands and knees. Cat-cow a few times. Inhale, belly down, head up. Exhale as you round the back and tuck the chin. Inhaling into cow, exhaling into cat. Trying to synchronize the movement with the breath. Then we're going to stay in cow pose, belly down, head up. We're trying to fix the hands onto the mat. We're gluing the hands to the mat and we're trying to pull them towards the knees. As much as you can, feel that core working, breathe. Keep working on this one. Hold it a bit longer if you can. And then relax. So I'm going to make a fist with my left hand. And then I'm bringing the right arm up, lifting it higher, bringing the hand higher than the shoulders, and start to lunge forward. So I'm lunging as much as I can. And then I'm going to bring the opposite leg up. You don't have to bring the leg up, but we're still lunging forward. That's going to make you work a little bit harder. And this is going to strengthen the core. And we switch. Bringing the right fist or right hand onto the floor, other arm up. Try and keep it high. Lunge forward. Don't hold the breath. And maybe bring the opposite leg up. And then we come into child's pose and just relax. Onto your hands and knees. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Bring the feet a little closer to each other, start walking the dog, bending one knee as you straighten the opposite leg. We look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhaling halfway up, exhale as you fold forward, relaxing the head. Engage the core, And you can come up with a straight back, straight legs, or you can come up with the knees bent and the back rounded. So we'll get into a little bit of a flow, and we'll work on those hamstrings and the quads. We'll start off, we'll just fold forward and come back up. We won't be stepping back just yet. Hopefully you guys can see me well enough. Inhale, sweep those arms up, look up, take a little bit of a backward bend. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again. Inhale, breath core brings us up. Exhale, back into mountain. Inhale, nice big breaths. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again. Inhale, breath core brings us up. Back into mountain. So I'm really working all that core as I come up. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale as we fold forward again. Inhale, we come all the way up. And then back into mountain. This time we're going to hold the forward bend. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, folding forward and down. Hold. And we're going to separate the feet a little bit. So I've just got a couple of inches between the feet. And the head is totally relaxed. I'm bending the knees, resting the belly on the legs. And I'm just going to take hold of the back of the legs, so I can pull myself a little closer to the ground. Head is relaxed. Belly snuggled against the legs. And then maybe you can straighten the legs just a little bit more. Pulling yourself closer to the ground. Breathe. Then we're going to slide the hands under the feet. So I'm pivoting on the heel. I slide one hand under one foot, the other hand under the other foot. So my toes are on the inside of the wrist. So you can massage the wrists with the toes. Knees bent to begin with. You're snuggling again. Head is relaxed. And you can get a little bit more leverage. You're pulling yourself a little closer to the ground this time. And then we try and straighten the legs just a little. They don't have to be totally straight. Just listen to yourselves. Nothing too intense. And breathe. And then we release. And we come back up. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. We walk into plank. Knees come down. Chin, chest forward and down. Inhaling into cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Stack the hips. We're opening that hip. That right hip. Knees bent. You're trying to get one hip stacked directly over the other hip. We switch. Bring the other leg up. We stack the hips. Bending that top knee. Top foot joins the bottom foot. We look forward, walking forward between the hands. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, coming all the way up. And then back into mountain. Inhale, sweeping those arms up. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. Plank. Knees down, chin, chest forward and down. Inhaling into cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Stack the hips, opening that hip. Now this time, we're going to transition into star pose. So you're bringing that knee forward and you're shooting the leg over to the side. So both legs are straight, and then we open up. If you'd rather just do a side plank, you can, or a forearm side plank, if this is not your pose. We bring that hand down, we extend the leg, same leg, we stack the hips again, and then we flip the dog. So we take that top foot over and open up towards the ceiling. We unflip, and then we switch legs. Other leg comes up, we stack the hips, we extend the leg again, and we transition into star pose on the other side, or side plank, and breathe. Extended down dog, stacking the hips, and then we just flip the dog, opening up, breathe. We unflip, top foot joins the bottom foot, we bring the knees down and come back into child's pose. So from here, we come up, we sit on the heels, we take the hands, lining them up with the toes, and we open the chest, coming into a little bit of a backward bend, and hips can come up, that's optional. Head goes back carefully. Working the glutes. I like to keep the elbows slightly bent, pushing the hands solidly into the ground, and then sit bones come down, and we come back into child's pose. Onto your hands and knees. Downward facing dog. Look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale as you fold forward. Bend the knees this time. Come into chair and then all the way up. Inhale into chair pose. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale halfway up, exhale, we bring the fingertips to the ground, so I'm just on my fingertips, and we're going to take the right leg back, knee down. Inhale as the arms come up, exhale, we're back into plank, knees down, chin chest forward and down, inhaling into cobra, exhale, down dog. We hold down dog for 2 or 3 breaths. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through, back knee down. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale, hands down, back foot joins the front foot. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale into chair, and then back into mountain. Same thing, but the other leg goes back first. Inhale into chair. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale halfway up, exhale fingertips to the ground, left leg back, knee down. Inhale as the arms come up. Exhale, we come into plank. Knees down, chin chest forward and down, inhaling into cobra. Exhale, down dog, couple of breaths. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through, back knee down. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, back foot joins the front foot. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale into chair. Exhale, back into mountain. Inhale into chair. Same routine, but this time you can keep the back knee high if you want to. Fold forward. Halfway up. Fingertips to the ground. We take the right leg back. Knee high or low. I'm keeping the knee high into a high lunge. We're back into plank. Knees down, chin chest forward and down. Inhaling into cobra. Exhale, down dog. We hold. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through, back knee high. Inhale into the high lunge, crescent. Exhale, back foot joins the front foot. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, folding forward into chair and back into mountain. You're getting warmed up. Same routine, other leg goes back first. Inhale into chair. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, hands to the ground. Left leg back, knee high. Inhale as the arms come up. Exhale, back into plank. Chaturanga if you want. Inhaling into up dog, opening that chest, keeping that core engaged. Back into down dog and breathe. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. Knee high. High lunge. Hands down. Back foot joins the front foot. Halfway up. Folding forward. Knees bent. We're back in chair and then we come back into mountain. Inhale into chair. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fingertips to the ground. Left leg back, knee high. Inhale into high lunge. Back into plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling into up dog. Exhale, down dog. We hold down dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. Back knee high. Inhaling into high lunge. Exhale, back foot joins the front foot. We inhale halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale into chair. This time we're going to hold chair pose. And we're going to twist. You're going to twist to your right side. Bringing the outer of the left arm onto the right leg. And just hang out here for a few breaths. Into chair. And then a chair twist in the other direction. Back into chair. And then we come all the way up. So we're going to do the flow and then we're going to hold the lunges and do more of a quad stretch and a hamstring stretch. Inhale into chair pose. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. So I've got my fingertips to the ground. We're going to take the right leg back, knee down, and we're just going to hold here for a little bit. So what I'm doing here is I've got that front foot, it's almost like it's glued to the mat and I'm trying to pull it towards that back knee. Sweep the arms up. And mainly this is going to stretch out the front of that back hip and the quads. And if you want to go a little deeper, what you could do is you could hold onto that back foot with just one hand or both hands, and you can pull the foot in a little closer if it feels good. If it's too much on the knee, you could fold the mat up, get a little bit more cushioning. So I'm trying to get my hands onto the foot. Let me show you the side view of what I'm doing here. So first of all, I'm trying to pull that foot towards that knee. And this might be enough stretch for you. With the arms up, it's a deeper stretch. And if you want to go even deeper, you can hold on to the foot with one hand. I like to bring both hands on, and then I'll try and get one hand onto the top of the foot so I can pull it in just a little bit closer. And getting quite a stretch there. Then we're going to slide that foot forward a little bit, and we're just going to extend the leg We're going to go back and forth into the lunge and extension. Lunge, extend, lunge, extend. And as I say, if it's too much on the knee, you can fold the mat a little bit, get a bit more cushioning there. So we're just going to hold it like this, and maybe you can have a couple of blocks here. So this is half monkey pose. Now as we progress into monkey, if monkey is not your pose, Hanumanasana, you can just hang out in half monkey and maybe use blocks. Actually having 3 blocks is handy. But this is going to stretch out the back of the leg, and we'll do some more hamstring stretches maybe on our back before we go into the full monkey pose. Back into the lunge, and I'm going to face you guys again. And we're going to switch onto the other side. So we'll just do a quick switch here. So keep both hands either side of the front foot, and we can just switch. So we're in a lunge on the other side, and we bring the arms up. If you want, some of you can just have the hands down, and we're gluing that front foot to the mat. We're pulling that foot in. As I say, arms up, that's optional. We're breathing, and you're getting a nice stretch at the front of that back leg. We bring the hands down, and if you want, you can take hold of that back foot with one or both hands and start pulling that foot in a little bit closer. And this is quite a stretch. Oh, another good stretch for the quads is hero pose. Maybe we'll do that in a minute. So we're going to extend the leg, front leg, back into the lunge. Extend, lunge, extend, and then hold the extension, walk the hands a little bit closer. Maybe you've got blocks there, and we're just going to hang out here. My kneecap toes are pointing up towards the ceiling on this one. And then we come out of that pose. So hero pose, since I've mentioned that, Varasana, is we're actually trying to sit. So I bring my thumbs on the inside of the knee and just roll out my calf muscles a little bit. And then you actually sit between the legs, between the heels. So you're bringing your sit bones to the floor. Not for those that have any knee concerns. So be careful with the knees. So I'm actually pulling the skin out, trying to get that length in the knee. And this is going to stretch out that Supta Virasana. You actually come all the way down. Take your time. You want to try and keep the knees on the ground and the knees as close as possible to each other. And then you can come all the way down. And you just hang out here. And this is going to stretch out the front of those legs. But keep the knees down, keep the knees close, keep the back nice and safe. We won't hold it too long, but when you do come up, you just gently push yourself up with the elbows. And I always like to come back into down dog after this one and walk the dog. Be careful with that one with the knees. They do that a lot in Iyengar yoga, and they'll hold it for quite a long time. A lot longer than I would like, in my opinion, but that's what they do in Iyengar. They hold poses longer. You stay in a pose a lot longer than I normally do. So as I say with hero, be careful with the knees, and you could also just have a block under the sit bones if you can't go all the way down. So we're going to do a little bit of stretching of the inside of the legs. So we're going to take the legs nice and wide apart. And we're going to get the feet parallel. You've got this hinge at the top of the femurs, so push into that joint and hinge forward. You're going to feel the stretch at the back of the legs and down the inside of the legs. You bring the hands down to the ground. So I'm on my fingertips, the hands are underneath the shoulders, and we're just going to bend one leg as we straighten the other one. Inhale up, exhale to the other side. You're keeping the feet solidly on the ground. Even with the legs straight, you're pushing the outer edge of the foot into the mat. Moving with the breath, inhale as you come up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. We hold one leg straight, one knee bent, the leg straight leg, that foot pushed into the ground, outer edge of the foot pushed into the ground. Engage the quads. Other side and hold. Try this. Straighten both legs. Keep both legs nice and wide. Walk the hands over to one foot. Take hold of the ankle. So I'm reaching for the ankle with one hand, the other hand is above it. And I'm trying to bring the elbow a little closer to the ground, more weight onto the toes, and you breathe. You might not be able to get the elbow all the way down. No worries. Don't force it. We walk over to the other foot. Take hold of the ankle. Elbow towards the ground. Relax the head. A little bit more weight on the toes. We walk the hands back underneath the shoulders. And we start walking the feet together, heel, toe, heel, toe. And then we start rolling up. Inhale as the arms come up. And then back into mountains. Since we're in a standing position, let's just do a little bit of a side stretch. Let's just add a little bit of variety to this. We sweep the arms up. We interlace the fingers and we point the index finger towards the ceiling. I'm going to take the feet a little bit wider apart, just to seems like it makes me a little bit more stable. Reaching towards the ceiling, and we go from side to side with the breath. Inhale as you reach up, and then exhale over to the side. Inhale, come up, reach. Exhale to the side. So we're getting a nice side stretch on this one. Going a little deeper each time. Next time you're over to one side, hold it. Try to keep the whole body in one plane, so one shoulder is no more forward than the other shoulder. And you can still start going a little deeper with the breath if you want. Inhale up, exhale over to the other side and hold. And then inhale up. Now try and keep the arms either side of the head as you take a backward bend. And as you're taking the backward bend, start engaging the glutes a little bit. Shifting the hips forward, go as far back as is comfortable. And then we come back up and we're going to hinge forward. And we're going to do that folded forward pose again, like we did at the beginning. But this time, we're just going to hold on to the big toes. We snuggle against the legs with the belly, head is relaxed, and you start to straighten those legs a bit more. And just note if it feels any easier this time. And then we come back up. So what we're going to do next, we're going to take a strap, and I'm going to have some blocks handy. Come onto your back. Put the strap around the right foot. So this is a nice way to stretch out the hamstring. The back is totally supported. The strap is around the ball of the foot, not the arch. I've got a really good grip with my right hand. The strap is wrapped around my right hand here. I'm really pushing that foot into the strap. I'm trying to get the leg straight. I'm working the quads. If your knees bend, just try and straighten the leg, but take the leg further away. You might be here, you might be here. Maybe you can get the leg a little closer. Obviously, if you have to bend the knee, go for it. But eventually you want to straighten the leg. Extend the other leg on the ground, and we're going to take that top leg over to the side. Trying to keep that opposite hip grounded. And then I'm going to start turning the toes down, heel up. And breathe. Inhale, the leg comes up. And let's add a twist. So we're just going to hold onto the strap with the other hand, and we take the leg over to the other side. As you extend the opposite arm, you're trying to keep both shoulders grounded, palm up. My foot isn't touching the ground, not yet anyway. For me, I feel it in the hip. It's quite a hip stretch. Leg comes up, and we're going to switch, bringing the strap onto the other foot. Get a good grip, wrap the strap around the left hand, the other hand. If you've got the left leg up, strap is wrapped around the left hand. If you've got the right leg up, strap is wrapped around the right hand. Pushing the foot into the strap. Quite a lot of arm strength here. Trying to engage the quads. Then we extend the lower leg and we take the top leg over to the side. Keeping the opposite hip grounded, toes down, heel up. And then the leg comes back up. We hold onto the strap with the other hand. And we come into the twist, opening up the chest, looking over the opposite shoulder, trying to keep both shoulders grounded. Inhale the leg back up, and we put the strap to one side, and we pull both knees in, and we do a little bit of rocking. Bring the hands either side, bring your hands to the back of the legs and rock yourself up into a seated position. Bodakanasana. Soles of the feet together. Holding onto the feet. We rock. We're pulling those hips forward, trying to encourage the knees closer to the ground. Okay, so I'm just going to come a little bit closer. I'm going to have 3 blocks handy. You don't need it, but I'm going to do that. I think I'll put 2 there. one here. Into the lunge. So the two little blocks are for my hands. You can, if you don't have two little blocks, you can just bring the hands onto the ground. Now it's actually easier sometimes to get into the full splits if you can easily slide that foot. So sometimes if your foot's on a sticky mat, it's a little bit more challenging. But I'm going to start sliding that front leg forward. I'm going to have the other block handy. The toes of my back foot are tucked, so I can grab the mat and just start walking that foot back. And I'm trying to get a little bit lower to the ground. If this is too much, just do half monkey. Next, I'm going to take the block and just slide it underneath that hip. And I'm just going to rest on the block. And you can flip the block higher if you want. So this is basically the splits, Hanumanasana. If it's too much, just do half monkey. It's stretching out the hamstring of the front leg and the quads of the back leg. Almost also a hip opener, so you need hips, hip open hips, hamstrings, quads for this one. And you're just trying to relax into it. It shouldn't hurt. If it bothers the back knee, come out of the pose. There can be a bit of pressure on the back knee sometimes. You're breathing. If you're really open, if you can get all the way down and you feel okay with that, you could then fold forward if you wanted. You could fold over that front leg and hold that position. But we're not going to all do that today. We come out, now usually between one side and the other side, I will just take child's pose and just give the back a little bit of a breather. As I said at the beginning of this class, be careful in this pose if you've got any back issues, hip issues. It's quite an intense pose. Lunge on the other side. Half monkey. And as I say, sometimes it's nice just to have blocks there and just hang out here. You can just hang out here. This should be nice. You don't have to go any further than this. But if you want to, you start walking that front foot further forward. As I say, if the foot's on a slippy floor, it really helps. Sticky mats hinder it actually. And then you start walking the other foot back, and we're starting to get a little bit lower. Take your time. And I'm just going to slide a block underneath that hip. So I'm just sitting on that block. There we go. And we can just relax here and just enjoy. So for me, most of the stretch is in the back, front of the back leg. And you can start off with the block higher, hold it, and when you're ready you can lower the block, and if you're super flexible you can even take the block away and you can come all the way down. But just be careful. Shift the block to one side, come back into child's pose and relax. Come onto your hands and knees, downward facing dog, walk the dog. And then bring the knees down. Sit on the heels. Lean over to one side. Let's go into a seated twist. Doesn't matter which direction you go in. We're hugging the leg, or bringing the arm outside the leg, other hand behind you. Try and soften the shoulders. Get tall and come into that twist and breathe. We switch. Taking the twist in the other direction. We come out of the twist, come onto your back. Pull the knees in and just rock. Happy baby. We're holding onto the feet. Head is on the ground, supported. Chin tucked. Trying to get the tailbone nice and low. Hips should feel pretty open today. We hold onto the big toes. We extend the legs into a V position, and as you're doing that, you're pulling the shoulders down away from the ears. You're trying to straighten the legs. Maybe they don't go straight, that's fine. Tailbone towards the ground. We bend the knees, we take hold of the back of the legs, we lift the head up, we rock into boat. You can hold on to the legs, you can release the legs, you can straighten the legs, whatever, opening the chest. We lower all the way down to the ground, well, almost to the ground. So the legs are an inch or two off the ground, the head is supported by the hands, you're pushing the lower back into the ground like crazy, engaging that core for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a full body stretch, reaching with the arms and legs, trying to get length. And then a little bit of a side stretch, getting into that banana shape. Stretching out one side of the body. And then we stretch out the other side. And then we recenter. Another full body stretch. And then into Supta Bodakanasana. We bring the soles of the feet together. Knees out to the side. And if it's tough on the hips, you can have blocks underneath both legs. Hands can be on the floor, the belly, the legs, wherever. Close the eyes, relax. Just letting gravity open those hips. And you can hold a little bit longer, or if you're ready for Shavasana, extending the legs, arms either side, palms face up. And just let yourself sink into the ground. you start to move the fingers and the toes. Walk the feet in and then just roll over to your side into a seated position. Inhale as you bring the arms up. Exhale, bringing the hands down. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do a couple more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Keeping the palms together. Namaste.